I worked 2 jobs to pay for my sister's education. I helped with her rent, bills, and even her nights out. But at a family dinner she called me a loser. That's when I stopped paying and told everyone the truth, why she could no longer afford her lifestyle. When my younger sister Lauren got into her dream college, everyone was over the moon. My parents were so proud. Lauren talked about her big future and I stood quietly trying to figure out how we'd pay for it all. My parents didn't have the money. They made that clear with little comments like, "Lauren is so smart but college is so expensive," while looking straight at me. I didn't have much either. I worked as a mechanic and was saving for a house. But she was my sister, so I started helping. At first I paid for textbooks and groceries. Then it became rent, bills, and even her parties. She always had a reason: "I'll pay you back after graduation," or "Mom and Dad can't help right now." My parents acted like it was my job. Family helps family, they'd say, even though I was working day and night just to stay afloat. Lauren acted like everything was perfect. She posted pictures of expensive dinners and trips, smiling like she wasn't living on my money. I kept telling myself it would get better once she graduated. But instead it got worse. She kept spending more: fancy clothes, designer bags, trendy shoes, while I was skipping meals just to pay her bills. I thought maybe she got a part-time job, but when I asked, she said, "Everyone at school dresses like this. I don't want to stand out." She never once asked how I was doing. I was just the person who paid for everything. My parents didn't care either. When I told them I was struggling, they made me feel guilty. "She's your sister," my mom said. "She's working toward a better life. You should be proud." Helping Lauren wasn't just helping, it was giving up my own life. My weekends were gone. My savings were gone. And the house I'd been dreaming of? That was out of the picture. Lauren didn't even say thank you. Instead, she'd call to complain about her teachers, her roommates, or how hard college was. She never asked how I was doing or how I managed 2 jobs just to keep her life going. I started to feel angry. It was like my life didn't matter, as long as hers looked perfect. Then one day Lauren told me she wanted to study abroad. She didn't ask if I could afford it. He just assumed I'd pay. "It's a once-in-a-lifetime chance," she said, like it was no big deal. "It costs a little more, but it'll be amazing." I sat there holding the phone, stunned. I was barely managing her normal bills, and now this? When I told my parents, hoping they'd finally see things clearly, they didn't. They just told me to figure it out, like always. "This is a big opportunity," my mom said. "You always find a way." No one cared about how tired I was. No one asked if I was okay. They just expected me to keep sacrificing like it was my only purpose. Meanwhile, Lauren got more careless. She'd complain about silly things, her roommate taking her shoes or how the cafeteria didn't serve lattes. He even started teasing me. "You work all the time," she laughed once. "It's like you're married to your job." One night, while venting at work, a coworker said something that hit me hard. "She doesn't appreciate you. You do everything for her and she treats you like you owe her." For the first time I realized they might be right. Then came the family dinner. Lauren was home for a school break and my parents invited me over. I didn't want to go, but I figured I could survive a few hours. The second I arrived, I saw the same pattern. My parents asked Lauren about her classes, her social life, her needs. No one asked me how I was doing. Then Lauren brought up studying abroad again. She went on and on about how amazing it would be. Then she looked at me and said, "Hope you're ready for some extra work, big brother. These programs aren't cheap." I froze. "Maybe you should get a part-time job," I said, trying to stay calm. She laughed. "Me? A job? I'm way too busy." That was it. I put down my fork. "Are you serious? You expect me to keep paying for everything while you do nothing?" Silence. Lauren looked shocked, then snapped back. "What's your problem? Just because your life sucks doesn't mean you get to take it out on me." That hit hard. After all I'd done for her, she saw me as a failure? I felt my anger rise, but I wasn't going to let her have the last word. "Bitter," I said. "You think I'm bitter because my life isn't going anywhere? My life didn't move because I was too busy making sure yours did." My parents jumped in, defending her. "That's not fair," my mom said. "You're her brother. It's your job to support her." "My job?" I laughed. "Since when is it my job to give up my future so she can live like a queen?" Lauren rolled her eyes. Here we go again. The sad little martyr speech. That was the final straw. "You know what?" I stood up. Call me a failure all you want. But at least I earned everything I have. What have you done? Nothing. You spend my money and act like you're better than me. I looked at my parents. And you've let her do it. I'm done. I'm not sacrificing one more thing for people who don't even see me. Then I walked out, finally choosing myself. I told everyone, I'm done paying. No more rent. No more tuition. Nothing. The room went silent. Lauren's face turned pale. She looked truly shocked. You can't just do that, she said, her voice shaking. How am I supposed to live? Figure it out, I said, grabbing my jacket. I've done it on my own for years. Maybe now it's your turn. As I left the dinner, I felt angry but also free. I had finally stood up for myself. But I knew it wasn't over. The next morning my phone blew up. Lauren texted first. At first she sent sarcastic messages. Thanks for ruining dinner. Hope you're happy leaving your sister out to dry. When I didn't answer, she tried guilt. You're really going to abandon me? After everything I've been through? I didn't reply. If she wanted attention, she'd have to look elsewhere. Then my parents got involved. My mom called first, clearly disappointed. I don't know what's gotten into you, she said. Lauren needs your help. She's your sister. She's been my responsibility for years, I said. It's time she stands on her own. Later my dad called. He said I was being selfish. What's she supposed to do now? He asked. Get a job, I said. Like everyone else. That same week I got a call from Lauren's landlord. Turns out she told him I was paying her rent, and when I didn't he came after me. She's not my responsibility anymore, I told him. Talk to her. That must have scared her because a few days later she showed up at my place without warning. She looked stressed, nothing like the confident girl I used to know. You can't just cut me off, she said as soon as I opened the door. Yes, I can, I replied, calm and firm. She shifted nervously, not used to being told no. You don't get it, she said, voice rising. If you don't help, I'll lose my apartment. I can't go home. Mom and Dad don't have space. Not my problem, I said. Her mouth dropped open. Not your problem. You're my brother. For years I've been more than that, I said. I've been your bank. Your safety net. I gave up everything, my time, money, even my dreams so you could chase yours. And when I asked for a little respect, you called me a failure. So no, Lauren. It's not my problem anymore. She looked like she couldn't believe what I'd said. I didn't mean it like that, she mumbled. I was upset. I wasn't thinking. You never think, I said. You've used me, used our parents, and now you're scared because you finally have to face life on your own. Then she started crying. Loud, dramatic sobs. But I wasn't moved. You're not going to guilt me, I said. Figure it out. Get a job. Learn to budget. Do what the rest of us do. Just leave me out of it. She didn't like that. You're being cruel, she snapped. Family helps each other. That's what we're supposed to do. No, I said. Family supports one another, not use and take advantage. Until you learn that, don't come back. Then I shut the door, cutting her off mid-sentence. For the first time, I felt like I was finally in control of my life. But the fallout came fast. The next day my parents called, furious. How could you do this to your sister? Mom demanded. She needed you and you left her. She's been living off me for years, I said. Maybe now she'll learn what struggle really means. Then Dad called me ungrateful for everything they'd done for me. That made me laugh. Ungrateful, I said. I've been working nonstop to support Lauren while you both acted like she was a star. And I'm the bad guy. The more I explained, the quieter they got. By the end, they had nothing left to say, just that I was tearing the family apart. As for Lauren, she went full drama mode. She posted vague complaints on social media, saying people had let her down and only cared about themselves. Then she started a GoFundMe, asking for help with her rent, claiming she was blindsided by an emergency. Her friends commented with fake sympathy, but donations barely came in. Looks like people weren't lining up to pay for her lifestyle like I did. Even extended family got wind of it. My aunt called saying I was being harsh, but once I explained what had really happened, she quickly changed her mind. She really thought you'd keep paying her rent? My friend asked, shocked. Welcome to my life, I said. Things got even worse when my parents showed up at my door. That's when I realized this wasn't just about Lauren being entitled. It was about the whole family making her problems mine to solve. They didn't just try to guilt me, they went even further. My mom started telling everyone that I had let Lauren down. Soon, relatives I hadn't spoken to in years were messaging me with things like, "It's not right to let her struggle," and "Family should come first." Meanwhile, Lauren's perfect image started to fall apart. I found out through friends that she'd been evicted and had moved back in with our parents. But even that wasn't enough for her. She expected to be treated like a princess there too. One friend told me Lauren was complaining about the food. "She's mad her parents don't cook her real meals," they said, laughing. She even joked that they should hire a cook now that you're not around. That was it for me. I knew I had made the right choice by walking away. If my family wanted to baby her, fine. But I was done being used by someone who couldn't even say thank you. Lauren kept spiraling. My parents gave her everything they had: money, support, attention, and blamed me for her mess. They acted like I had done something terrible just by saying no. I also heard that Lauren was still lying about me, telling people I abandoned her. Of course, she didn't mention how she'd lived off my paycheck for years while acting like she was better than everyone. But her fall wasn't just about money, it was social too. People started learning about her GoFundMe scam. The same friends who used to hang out with her stopped answering her calls. Without me paying the bills, she had nothing left to offer. Then came the final straw. My parents called me panicked. Lauren had maxed out a credit card in their name. She used it to go shopping and couldn't pay it back. Now they were stuck with the bill. They begged me to help. I couldn't help but laugh. After all their excuses, after blaming me, now they wanted me to fix it? "This is your problem," I told them. "You chose to support her. You ignored everything I said. Now deal with it." For once, they didn't argue. Maybe they finally realized I wasn't going to rescue her again. That was the last time I heard from them. I moved on with my life. I focused on my goals and building a future without all the family drama. Took time to heal from everything, but I came out stronger. And Lauren? Last I heard, she's still living with our parents. Still making excuses, still expecting to be taken care of. Part of me felt bad for them. But mostly I felt free. They made their choice. Now they're living with it.